take all that out. The only thing when you get to areas where there's electrical that, you know, needs to be demoed inside the walls, I wouldn't touch that. That's probably dangerous.
Okay. All right.
There's mercury in there, the switch,
Okay.
and when they tilt it, the mercury drops to contact or not. You have to keep this level, or the heat will, you know, you lose heat in the building.
So you just keep it.
Yeah, you could bust around it,
and
yeah, and just leave it, or take it apart. But if you take it apart, you have to have it.
Pretty much just
It has to be level, right, or it won't work.
Okay. Yeah. So anything like relate to.
Right. Just so you can keep heat on in the building. You know, the other thing is when no one's here, if you want to save some money, you can keep it down a little bit.
But yeah, the other day when I came in, it was super cold.
Oh yeah, you don't want it super cold. Just you know,
What, 60 something again?
58, 60 is fine. Yeah.
Oh, between that, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I could
the guys
just do it
don't-
right now,
Sure.
and I can set up the.
Yeah, it
all
won't
the-
freeze at that.
Okay. So okay.
One other thing when you're demoing too, you always want to look at the mechanical situation, like where's the water shutoff main?
Okay.
Because if guys are swinging stuff and one of these bursts open, you know, water's coming out, you'll know what to do, you know, you'll know where it is. So, just, you know where the water main is and shut that off.
Sure.
Or just know where it is to shut off in case something happens.
Okay.
What else? I don't know if you should, maybe we could get to the next phase after you open this stuff up. If you want to pull walls apart and stuff too, that would be fine, but maybe we should see, once it's open, what walls you can and can't take out.
Sure. That we were thinking about, like we were talking about, we can remove all the wall
Sure, sure.
and then leave the frame here, and then once you guys walk through and
Yeah.
say, oh, this is what we can,
Yes.
we need to work on this, and look and keep that, and then we can do more the other
Right,
stuff. Then
and you
we
can get rid of more stuff. Okay.
So probably our first phase will be probably removing all the wall around it.
Yes.
They keep as much as possible the frame structure.
Yes.
And especially, I think, I don't know if it's safe to remove the metal section, but whatever. Probably you can keep the main frame right there on the
Yeah.
side right there.
Sure.
And then that's the idea. And,
Okay. What other? A lot of this insulation will fall, but that's okay, I guess. We'll have to, you know, just deal with that when we go to put it back. But we're gonna need it out anyways to restructure things and do
Yeah.
whatever. What else? I don't think you'll get in any trouble with anything else. Just, you know, be careful of the power and don't take out any walls unless, you know, I think if you take the skin off first, that would be the first way, like you said. We'll do it
Okay.
that way. We'll re-walk back through and we can determine what's supporting and what isn't, and then just say, you guys can take this out. And then maybe in the meantime too, the electrician could come in and undo his wires.
sure.
We
You
could-
don't mind that?
No, no, not at all. Not at
Okay.
all.
And because I was looking at the downstairs, all this wall,
Yeah,
and I thought, I was talking to my boy, I think the building was there for such a long time with the medical stuff. We were thinking to remove all those, the skin first, like the wall
Yeah.
first.
Yep.
And probably if we don't want it to redo the whole thing, probably we can put back the,
Sure.
shurak back in there.
okay,
Yeah.
And just put new shurak so that it doesn't smell, it doesn't have all this.
okay,
So we will feel much safer on that.
yeah.
So
Okay.
that was what I thinking to.
Did you get dumpsters then, or how are you gonna?
Yeah, that's pretty much the idea. If we do that, then if we demo ourselves, then we will do the dumpster.
Sure.
We will rent the
Sure.
dumpster, Youngie, and we can.
Do you have a dumpster company? There's a company called Atomic Waste.
Atomic? Okay.
They seem to be cheaper than everybody else. That's why we use them.
Oh, okay.
Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you. I can give you the phone number.
Broken again.
Atomic is 612-623-8888. Yeah, Atomic Waste.
Usually,
and
how
then the
much you
do's and
guys
don'ts.
rent for them? How much is it?
For us, it's been about, for the bigger ones, it's been about $300, $309.
Okay.
I know Vite and some of the other ones are around 350, so
Okay.
it's about $50.
Yeah,
cheaper.
we have a guy who do a lot of.
If you can find it cheaper, great.
And he said that he had connection. I mean,
Okay.
that's how he went. His main place he goes to. So
Yeah.
he can just get it for. I mean, he's
Okay.
gonna get for him, but he's
Good,
gonna get it for
good.
us for a good deal too. So I'm gonna check on those two and see what.
Okay, and then the other thing with dumpsters, you can pile it up a little bit, because they cover it with the tarps, but don't go so
Too
high,
high.
yeah, they get mad at that, and then what happens is they say, well, I'm not gonna take it, or they'll push it off the top and it'll fall on the ground, and then they'll take it and leave that mess for you.
To clean that up.
So,
Yeah.
but if you stack it nicely, you can fit a lot in there, jump up and down.
Sure.
Look out for nails. I would think when you're demoing here too, it's not a bad idea to go out and buy a couple of fire extinguishers and maybe like a first aid kit. They're cheap.
Okay.
You know,
I
20
think we
bucks for an
saw this somewhere
extinguisher.
right
and-
there too.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
have that on site,
Yeah,
just in
for-
case.
Okay.
What else? I think that's pretty much it. Dust masks for the guys, eye protection. The safety glasses at Menards are cheap. I don't know if you want to put hard hats on them. They're about $4 or $5 a piece. It's up to you. Those are the safety things that we usually
Safety.
have, yeah.
Mhm.
And you could always have a safety meeting too, to just gather your people and just say, hey, nobody gets hurt, and, you guys are working over here, we'll put you there, just be careful. Don't touch any of the wires.
Sure.
That's pretty much what we do, but just know that, let everybody know where you have the stuff, the, dust masks.
Okay. Yeah.
You can get a roll of like that caution tape, that's about $7, in
Yeah,
case
we-
there's an area where you
We
don't
already
want them.
bought that because last time we had all people running all over
Right,
the place there.
right.
We just put a caution tape in it. Don't go
Sure,
around there. So.
sure. But that's pretty much it, just common
Yeah.
sense after that.
Okay.
And then I'll talk to John about this, and I'll have that put together. He'll start putting it together tonight, and I think by tomorrow
Okay.
I should be able to.
So basically, there's no
Nope.
restriction. I
No.
mean, no big concern.
No restriction, just be safe,
Just
be
safe
careful.
and just to walk as you
Right.
demo as we go.
And then, like
So-
I said, the biggest concerns are don't touch electrical and know where the water shut off is, just in
Okay.
case there's a problem.
What about when you get to like electrical panels or vents, or do you have any special?
Vents are okay, you can't get hurt on those, it's just.
No,
let 'em
but I
blow.
mean-
I suppose if the system is on,
But I mean, do you try to save them, or you rip them down and put new ones?
yeah,
How
usually we
do-
do new ones, they're
Okay,
cheap,
okay.
they look so. You might have,
So if something like those light,
right.
we can just open up around it. Or
Yeah,
how do
I
wanna-
could do as a courtesy, I could get the electrician over here.
Okay.
Why don't I call Jason and see if he's available? When do you think you might be doing this? Because he could pull some of that kind of stuff down for you.
Okay. I don't know how fast we can get the demo permit process through.
Okay.
So
I can call him and let him know that.
if we can get the permit
Yeah.
process through quickly, then we're
Jason-
ready to start any time.
Jason's pretty cool. He'll come and work with you. He can maybe sneak in alongside you or the night before or something.
And you don't need any drawings for the demo permit. You just need to come up with a scope description of what your work is going to be.
Okay.
And if you want help, you can send that over to us, and we can
Yeah.
help you write it.
Okay.
Make it sound as little as possible.
Yep.
Say you're pulling off sheetrock.
Finishes,
For
yep.
partition walls.
Talk
Don't
about
say
it
any
like that.
structure, just
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna-
taking up carpet and
So you say partition wood?
partition walls, just sheetrock off and carpet up. Just state it that way. And if they say, well, what about any mechanical, say no, during the construction, the mechanical people
Well-
handle their own demo and their own,
Okay.
so,
Sure.
and you should be fine. What else? Nope, just, like I said, have a safety meeting, have an extinguisher and a medical kit or something, first aid kit. You can buy those at Sam's Club or Costco. Caution tape, sledgehammers, for busting something. Sometimes what happens, what's easy with this, is if you bash through first, pull an area off, and then just take the blunt end of the hammer and push the drywall off on the other side, and you can pull big sheets, it goes quicker.
Okay.
Pull all the trims and whatever woods you don't want. Those go first. When those are pulled off, though, watch for nails sticking up for people stepping on it. And,
But you pretty much have an idea about the whole, I mean, the building, about removing all this wall, right?
yeah, you're fine, remove everything.
Okay.
I'd say take it all off and we can restructure it, re-put the walls up, and then drywall it quick. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's the way to go.
Sounds good. I think that's.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll
It'll
be
be
fun,
fun for you guys.
yeah.
It's, you know, it is. It gets your frustrations out.
Writing a quote for your loan?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
gonna work,
he's,
I'm gonna have
yeah,
that put
Scott's
together.
gonna work on that, and.
Yes, right
I'm gonna-
away.
And then I will submit that, and
Okay,
and I'm pretty, I'm gonna try to get the loan as soon as possible.
okay,
So once we submit that, I'm gonna push them to get it done as soon as possible before.
okay,
Probably before the end of this, and next week, by the end of this month,
okay.
so that we can pretty much secure the loan by, probably
Sure.
November 30th or December 1st.
Sure.
So that we can, pretty much, good to,
Okay.
to go.
How about, do you guys think we'll need, I mean, how far are we taking drawings on this? I suppose once they open it up, you'll be able to see a lot better.
Yeah, and we're pretty close to done with
Okay.
existing drawings.
Okay,
but,
to submit to the city when we're ready to go.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So,
Okay, good.
All right.
Yeah, this'll be good. How
Any
about,
concern on the side, on the wall right there? I mean, if we were to,
you know, are there walls you think you would save, or, you know, the
Oh,
thing
there's
is, are
some-
you gonna take off the wallpapers and?
mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's easier just to throw new sheetrock up than to sit
Oh,
and
put an
try and
ocean.
remove all that. That's
Oh,
a
okay.
bigger
Yeah.
expense.
that's,
I would
That's
say,
a great
I would
idea.
say empty the place, don't you? I mean,
mhm.
it just, you, I've been doing this for so long that every time I think to myself, well, we'll save this section.
Mhm.
You find the whole job you're working around it.
Working
and you
around
just
it,
thought to
yeah.
yourself, well, we should have just tore it all out.
mhm. That's what I'm saying.
Time
Either-
after time, I tell,
Either,
remind myself.
either
of
what
that.
we can do is that surround the thing.
Yeah,
If we want to, instead of removing and then take too much time or too much wood,
yeah.
put new sheetrock around it.
Yeah.
You don't have to take those things out. Is it what would be something?
You know, if there's an area like, if you wanna keep the window casing in the window there,
Mm-hmm.
sure, you know, stop it off, or, you know, we can work around that, but if you were gonna do all new trims, or, you know,
Okay.
if there's a reason to save money in a certain area, then fine, but if not, I'd say,
Remove it.
we have to run new mechanicals, and
Oh, okay, yeah.
the walls need to be open anyways.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it'd maybe harder to try to match like trim and paint
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff than to just
No, I mean, it's just
take it
like
off and redo.
Instead of removing all the single wall all around this, we can just like
right.
put new sheetrock on top, all around it, or you prefer to remove the whole thing?
You know, that's not a dumb question. Sometimes that works, but sometimes it works against you, because what you're doing by adding to it is you have to extend all these jams out further.
Oh, okay.
And then now you got all that work, and then you know, there's, the depths change, sockets,
Everything changed.
you know, yeah.
Okay. That's just good to know, so that we can,
Sometimes-
when we plan to do that, we can just,
Yeah.
okay, let's
Right.
take everything out as
Right.
much as possible.
Strategically put the dumpsters, you know, so it's out of the way, but yet close enough so guys don't have to go so far.
Okay.
Sometimes wheelbarrows for the junk.
Yeah, I think we do have a lot of this guy, they have pretty much everything.
Sure.
They should have everything we need.
That's what I was gonna get at, is when we were talking about those grills, if your system is active, which it will be, your heat's on,
Mhm.
you may get your furnace to all of a sudden shut off and act like it's not working. Typically, there's a sensor on it where if the filter's clogged, it'll shut down.
Okay.
So you're probably gonna get dust sucking in.
Into that.
So you might have to change the filters more often.
Oh,
than
okay.
that. So that's something to think about. Sometimes we block them off, but if it's running, it's hard to do. It makes the furnace run hard.
Mhm.
Anything else we can think of, guys?
Are there any restrictions on locating the dumpster? Like,
No, there's no restrictions if you own the parking lot, but if you put on
Yeah.
the street, there's restrictions. You have to
Oh,
have
okay.
cones and you have to have a permit. and-
Sure. But if we, if we put it in our own parking lot,
Yeah,
there's no
it would be totally
issue.
fine, there's no issue. The only issue is, I don't know how kind the neighbors are, but what I found is in good times, people throw stuff in your dumpster. In
Yeah.
bad times, they take stuff out. So it's a little tough out there right now, I think people will be taking stuff out.
How quick could we get a demo permit?
You know, those are pretty quick.
yeah,
Oh, they're pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay.
they'll sometimes write it like
And
on
how,
the spot, won't they?
Right, because you don't have to go through zoning and a whole,
Yeah.
they don't have to look at any plans or anything,
Mhm.
you just tell them, you know, what you're gonna do.
Okay.
You know, if you need more, if they tell you different, by all means, talk to us, we'll
Sure.
help you or write.
Yeah, I was not trying to say anything that would make
Yeah,
us.
yeah, just keep it simple.
Yeah, simple, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, what were you, I'm sorry. Peter?
Oh, by the way, I mean, just a dumb question, and usually how much it costs for the demo permit?
They're,
Have any idea?
they're a
They're
lot
cheap,
cheaper, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, really?
I talked to
You
the
see, I
building
gave-
inspector and he was thinking, I mean, it depends on the size of the project, he said, but he said a couple $100 maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I, in my mind was thinking about, $3,000-4,000.
No.
Yeah.
That was a pretty
Well,
overhaul.
It's gonna be in the hundreds.
Building permits, demo permits are like this, building permits are like this, and then
Yeah.
all the whack and sack stuff that they add
Yeah.
on.
Okay. Okay, I just wanna, yeah, I mean, I was just thinking, is this something we can do right away? Put a permit and the
Yeah.
demo
Sure,
permit
I'd
right
get on
away?
right away, you
So
bet.
that we can, I mean, if it's like $5,000-6,000, then we rather wait for the loan to come in.
Right, no, I would get it done right away, because, you know, the time limit on that, there's no limit on what there is, I didn't want it to drag on for years,
Mhm.
but, yeah, I would get it right away.
Yeah, could we, another question I have is that, could we apply on the, I don't know, the permit that you're gonna fix, repair the roof as well, so that we don't have to pay two different permit to that, or do we have to put two different permit?
Yeah, it's a different permit than demo.
Okay.
But you can apply for that, sure.
Sure,
If
okay.
you do, the rule states that the owner can do his own work.
Mhm.
Except there is an exception, like if you own rental property, if you have your own company, you can do it, but if you don't, you're supposed to hire a professional because
Mhm.
people are living there, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna, I've
Yeah.
never pulled a
If you-
permit and
if you
doing any
own your
roofing
own home,
before.
But if you own the building and you're the building owner,
Okay.
you have the right to do your own work,
Okay.
so.
No, I was just thinking like, I mean, we have somebody in mind to
Sure.
do that, and
Sure.
I was wondering if we could just pull up and just one piece of permit so that we don't have to pay for two permit,
Right.
but otherwise we have to put,
Right.
if we have to put two
If-
permit, then we
if-
would do it.
If this person, yeah, how should I word this? If this person, and you don't know, you only know him and he's his own company,
Mhm.
I would have that person
Pull
pull
it.
it because it's his,
His-
whoever's on that permit is liable for the stuff.
Mhm.
And if he has people walking up on that roof and get hurt, then it's his people and it's his problem.
Mhm.
If it's yourself and your friends, then you're gonna have to take that responsibility, and then if you pull that permit, if something was to happen, you're on the hook for it,
Yeah,
so
okay.
you have to be careful.
Okay. No, I mean, it's just.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
I was just like wondering, could we do something like that, or we have to do it differently so that we can
Right,
try to buy it?
you know, and if it's a
idea.
good friend of yours and you know, you have an understanding of that, the
Mhm.
moment you pull that permit, then his liability and responsibility and his warranty probably goes away with it, then it's your own problem, cause it's in your name, cause
Mhm.
usually how the courts are set up, if you have a contract that does bad work and then takes the money and runs, you have no way to go against them because you're the permit holder.
Mhm.
But if he's holding the permit, then it
Okay.
goes after him.
Oh, okay,
So,
sure.
if it still leaks and you have issues, so, that's
So,
how it works.
Another question I have, so you would prefer us to leave those, like, the sink, all that stuff, or can we?
Well, you can, you know what, if you turn the water main off,
Mhm.
you could fold all those things and just leave them open with the pipes hanging there.
Okay,
But are you gonna hurt yourself if you had a problem where place starts to burn down and you don't have any water here? I don't know. Is there a sprinkler? That should be separate though.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
separate.
It should be separate, so you should be okay to do that.
All right.
So, do you know where that is, or do you
No,
need
I
help?
don't.
Maybe we can.
I don't know. Do you want to do that?
So it's up to you.
I mean, you show me just in case. I mean,
Well, what we would do typically is
Otherwise,
we go
if-
down and we shut the main off, and then we come into someplace, well, this one's open, you can see it better. You know, you're supposed to be able to shut it off here, but these are always,
No.
just like this, it's frozen,
No, that's
right?
easy.
It's,
Mhm.
you could take out pliers, but chances are they won't shut off properly because they're old.
Mm-hmm.
So if you kill the whole main, all you have to do is take a crescent wrench and undo the nut here and over here,
Mm-hmm.
and then take a channel lock and undo the trap, and you can lift this right out of here.
Okay. I was wondering if we can just
Right.
shut off from here. If that worked, then it will help us too.
If you can, but, you know, like I
Usually-
said, chances are with that many sinks, one of them's not gonna, they're probably frozen open or corroded.
Mm.
The other thing too is if you take it off from this point at here,
Mm-hmm.
I would take something to stuff in there like insulation or something. Don't push it in so far it goes down the drain, but, you know, because you're gonna get sewer gas without the trap. The water that holds in the trap keeps that sewer gas, otherwise it's
Oh.
gonna stink in here.
Oh, okay.
So
So
if
put
you can just,
something
if
on
you can
top of
just
that?
undo it from here and leave water in the trap, you're fine, but if you take it all the way back to here,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's, there we go. You can undo it there,
Mhm.
then I would just stuff a rag or some insulation in there just to keep the stink,
Okay.
you know, from,
From coming off.
right.
Okay.
But yeah, you could kill the main and pull all these. This is, there's two wall hooks, these just lift right off.
Oh,
It'll
okay.
feel tight because they've caulked it, but it'll come
Alright.
off.
Since anyway, because the voice is gonna come off
Right.
anyway.
How would your plumbing guy
Yep.
feel about that? I mean, does he
He's
care,
all right,
or
because
is-
that's surface. It's,
Okay.
it's dealing with the pipes that he
Okay.
wouldn't want you to touch.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you're okay to do that.
All right.
I don't know if there's anything in here you'll find that you can
Can,
send to the scrapyard and
okay.
some pizza and beer money.
Yeah, would those go on Craigslist or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sink?
People buy that stuff. Oh, the
Yeah.
stainless, the sinks, they get big money for this.
Those pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Maybe you can even Craigslist or.
We will
eBay the
have
sinks.
our young guy to do that.
Yeah.
That's why we tell all those like desks so that we can post.
Right.
Yeah,
I would,
okay.
that's not garbage, you save that, either you can reuse it, sell it, or you can get a lot of money for scrap from the stainless.
Okay.
So, stainless is the most expensive, and copper after that. But, yeah, you can do that. Jason, the electrician, too, he can leave a big pile of the copper wires as he changes stuff out.
Okay.
Whatever you guys can make, it's money.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once you take the carpet up, I don't know how this stuff will come up if it's glue down. We'll have to look at the subfloors, see what we have to do, if we're replacing or if we keep it. Hopefully we can keep them, that would be fine. And then, that was the window that was gonna come out too.
Yeah. Probably leave that for them, wouldn't you, Pastor?
Yeah. No. Probably we wanna probably want.
Okay.
Probably we'll take the wall out and
Sure.
leave that to you guys.
Okay. But, yeah, if you're taking the ceiling and all that other stuff, maybe we should get Jason the electrician in to just pull these lights. And then maybe he can hang some,
Light on.
yeah, on a chain light around, just so you have some work light.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as long as we have some light to work
Right.
with,
Yeah,
because most of the time we will be like late. in the
yes,
night.
yeah,
So we probably will.
yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, you can pull these out around it, but sometimes they come down and chances are you're gonna need some temporary lights.
Sure.
Other things, you know, sockets and stuff will be live, so you could get those, work lights, like at Menards,
mhm.
you know, the halogens.
To keep it. Right?
Yeah, you could use those too. All right.
So yeah, if we can go and find the main water.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, let's find that. Smoke detectors, I don't know if because of the dust, if anything, are you wired to a system here, or is this sprinkled, the building?
No, no, system.
Not this
That
end.
side is,
Yeah.
Decide in the bottom one.
Okay.
Low level.
Then it's probably just battery operated smokies, if there are any.
There should be.
Yeah. There isn't.
Teasing.
I know that an alarm system is definitely something we have to
Right.
install, but I thought that there were some.
Do you have my cell phone number too? Just, I mean, if you're here doing it and something's just going wrong, just, Scott, help.
Okay.
I'll come running.
Sure, let me write it down just in case.
Sure. 612-986-2403. And, no questions, no, just whatever, anything. And again, you're gonna have those thermostats all over, just, if they come loose, don't worry about it, but I'm just saying, if they hang crooked, that mercury switch won't work, it has to be level.
Sure. So, yeah, we'll make sure that.
Otherwise, your heat will stay off.
Okay. That's good to know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of good guys who
Yeah.
who work on this.
Yeah,
stuff.
they'll all know
They
too,
can,
I'm
they
sure.
can be handy and
Yep.
helping us to some stuff.
Exit lighting, now this is the side of the sprinklers, so you'll have to be careful of all these heads.
Because we use all this stuff, right? So you have to
Well,
pick a couple.
How does that work? Because you can't tamper with, right?
Uh,
You can't do any painting. You can't tamper with. Will they make you replace the heads? How does that work?
are we adding a sprinkler out there or not?
Yeah.
On the other side, yeah.
Okay, if you
Oh, we don't
are,
know yet. Oh, we.
then at the time,
No,
they'll
we-
probably change these heads out on the same system.
Okay.
It's not that much, it's just the heads. Because these things, they do get old, so.
No, we just want to, if we need to just to cut a circle around it. So that we
Yeah,
don't
I would
get-
leave those for the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So is it okay for this section too? I mean, the lobby one, or do you want to wait on that here?
I
On this
think.
section? Or we can remove the
The
skin,
finish,
yeah, the
yeah,
finish, and
yep.
then leave the frame.
Yep. Just like we talked about. But leave the studs, leave the frames, and then we can see what's going on and go from there.
When you take these door frames off, you just take a pry bar and pop this trim off the face, both sides.
Mhm.
Do you have like a sawzall? Have you, the saw that goes like this out front?
I don't know. Probably I can ask.
What we do is we just put a longer metal blade on, and there's shims. You can see little nails. Well, they're probably filled. They shim the doors true, and then they pound nails. Here's one here.
Okay.
So those nails are sticking into the wood. We just take it and go, and the
Like
door
giving it-
falls right out. Yeah, that's how they come apart. Or if you don't want to save it, you can just take a pry bar and pull one side and then pull down. They fall apart. They collapse
So
pretty
to
easy.
save the rest will be a lot easier just to cut around it.
If you save this, you don't cut around it. You pop the trim, and then once it's hollow, you take that sawzall and run it down the side, and then this whole thing can stay in one piece and come out.
Oh, okay.
Because it's pinned, boop, 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 on
Mhm.
both sides
Mhm.
with wood shims.
Okay.
Typically, they never do the top, but sometimes they do.
Sure.
But once these are off, you can see it in there.
Oh,
It'll
okay.
be visible.
Makes sense.
So, all right. What else? Any odd? System. I think that's it.
Although like the intercom and any like
Yeah,
special.
Are you gonna reuse that intercom? Probably
No,
doesn't
no.
work, then that's just,
I don't
at that point, the electrician can just cut that
Cut it,
stuff,
cut
and,
it.
yeah, it's just gonna be
I don't
low
think we will
voltage
ever.
wires.
It's still on a date.
Yeah. Okay. For bathrooms, for the people while they're here, though, if we have the water shut off,
That'll be something challenging.
that'll be a challenge.
Well, I think what we're gonna do is that we're gonna remove and leave it as
Sure.
as there as until pretty much
Sure.
the second phase when we start doing it. Then
Right,
probably
and the rule on that, so you know, is if you do have it all shut down and you have workers here, they like to have one porta potty, one of those satellites outside, for 10 people is what they tell us. And each one of those is about $50 to $70 a month to have it sit out front. And they're not that expensive, but that's an option for you, is to call a company like Biff's. Have you ever seen Biff's or?
I used to call on site.
On site's another
Yeah.
one, yep.
Yeah, because I run a soccer program, so
Sure.
we run from them.
Sure.
So
So that's an idea, then you don't have to worry about the water, but if you wanted to keep one live, then you can't undo all those sinks. So, your choice, but let's just at least find out where it is.
Let's find out where it is, and we will decide on that.
Down is this way?
What time is it? Oh, thanks.
Does this work?
Yep.
Might need this.
I was too lazy the other day just to
Just turn on the lights.
I think the main one is right there. There's some light that you can put it.
Is there a light? There we go. All right. You don't want to mess with this. Now here's the mains for your sprinkler system. Okay?
Okay.
There should be a mains for the house, for the building. Well, sometimes if we follow it, no, that's still a sprinkler, or is it? Maybe it's ground. Okay, this is your sprinkler. That's also sprinkler. Whenever you see the red couplings like that, all those. So let's follow this water here. Looks like it's right here. Okay, hot water here can come out of this. So this is probably it, but it also goes to the other side and probably taps onto that water main. Should we go look at that? Because that's not, I think this goes over to that other side. You know, these are all shut-offs to the hot water heater as well. But you still want to kill the whole main. Because right now you have cold water coming in. So that's going out. So here's your incoming, and that's your outgoing. So it'd be this one, but I don't know where that goes to. Let's look at over there. It was probably out in that other furnace room.
Oh no, this is right there. This is
Okay.
it. What talking about this?
Right here.
Oh, this is the main one?
Yep. So this is what they call the street side, and then this valve here is the house side. I would turn them both off.
Oh, okay.
And off is always clockwise.
Always,
Yeah,
okay.
and you'll see it'll start to turn inward.
Mhm.
And then what I would do too is before you start tearing stuff, double check. Go up there and open up
Sure.
the sinks
Mhm.
and see if they stop off. But that's your main. So that's for sure it. And then this. Let's head out from there. And then it probably heads over to the other side to pick that up. But that's only if you want to start taking sinks. If you don't want to mess with that, just leave it. Right. But don't turn that other main off, that sprinkler system. 'Cause
Oh, no,
you,
we-
you won't have that. It'll
No.
be.
We wanna
should probably
touch
shut
that.
his lights off. But that's it.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, okay, that's pretty good to know. I think probably you can just start putting the permit and start doing the
Right.
work.
The gas main, you won't need that because you're going to keep it on the furnaces. And you shouldn't have any gas lines that you'll hit. I don't think so. I think that's all coming from foundation in. So. All right, because all furnaces are down here, is that correct? There wasn't anything upstairs?
There's a furnace
One-
upstairs
there's
too, on
one-
the third
oh,
floor.
On the third floor? There might be something run up the backside then.
But like you said, well, if we
Yeah.
come across something that
Shut that one. There we go.
we come across something that we
Yeah, call me and I'll run over it. Sure. Okay,
Sounds good.
all right, I think that'll do it.